Welcome to the Beyond the Books channel. Today, we're diving into the profound language of Anne Frank's The Diary of a Young Girl. This guide will help you master the advanced vocabulary of resilience, reflection, and history as we explore one of the most important documents of the 20th century. In her early entries from 1942, Anne's writing is already deeply observant. On page 12, she describes a sense of melancholy, a deep, long-lasting sadness with no obvious cause. By page 21, she reflects on things that are superfluous or unnecessary, synonyms being extra and surplus. And by page 45, we see a pensive Anne, someone engaged in deep, serious thought, synonyms being reflective and thoughtful. As the family settles into the Secret Annex in 1943, the tone shifts. Survival requires being prudent, acting with careful thought for the future. She observes others being pious or devoutly religious, while their lives depend on surreptitious or secret actions. Synonyms of surreptitious being secretive and stealthy. Life in hiding is a paradox of stillness and tension. Anne describes the monotonous daily routine, dull, tedious, and repetitious. This close confinement inevitably leads to discord, a lack of harmony, and frequent disagreement between the residents. As Anne matures on page 142, her feelings become manifest, or clearly shown and perceived, apparent, evident. On page 165, we see her grow indignant, showing righteous anger at what she perceives as unfair treatment by the adults in the annex. The emotional weight of the war is heavy. Anne uses her diary to lament, expressing passionate grief, mourn. Her writing becomes incredibly poignant, evoking a keen sense of sadness as she deals with the incessant or never-ending endless pressure of their situation. Looking back at her early life on page 5, Anne describes herself as ardent, passionate, and full of intense feeling. She remembers moving blithely through her days, happy, carefree, and unaware of the restrictions that were to come. The atmosphere of the annex is perfectly captured in 3 words. The wait is interminable or endless. The summer heat and confinement are oppressive, weighing heavily on the spirit. And as the war nears its end, Anne's emotions are tumultuous, confused, loud, and chaotic. Anne was a sharp observer of human behavior. On page 134, she critiques those acting ostentatiously or in a showy way to get attention. On page 79, she describes Mr. Dussel as pedantic, meaning he was overly concerned with minute details and formal rules. Tensions often boiled over. Anne records Mrs. Van Don's long, angry tirades. She reflects on her own past behavior, wondering if she was truly insolent or rude and disrespectful. Ultimately, she expresses how she can loathe or feel intense dislike for the lack of understanding around her. Anne's internal growth is evident. She acknowledges her mercurial nature, her sudden changes in mood. She observes Mr. Dussel's meticulous or extremely careful way of organizing his things. Through it all, she finds solace or comfort in her writing and nature. 2 words define the physical reality of the annex. Their lives were clandestine, kept secret, and hidden. This was in stark contrast to being conspicuous in public, where the yellow Star of David made Jewish people stand out and vulnerable to the Nazi regime. Anne's personality shines through on page 38, where she is unabashed, or totally unabashed, during an argument. And on page 10, she famously labels herself an incorrigible chatterbox, someone who simply cannot be reformed or silenced. In her final entries, we see Anne's incredible fortitude or courage in the face of adversity. Despite everything, she looks for auspicious or favorable signs for the future. Yet, her life remains a paradox, a situation that combines contradictory features, like maintaining hope in the midst of horror. To fully understand the context, we must recognize 3 vital historical terms: anti-Semitism, the prejudice against Jewish people; capitulation, the act of surrendering to an opponent; and pogrom, an organized massacre of a particular ethnic group. A major theme is the duality of human nature. Anne famously wrote that she still believed people were really good at heart, despite the horror outside. Her diary highlights the contrast between the incessant danger of war and the poignant beauty of her own dreams. Why do we still read Diary of a Young Girl? Anne's voice remains a manifest reminder of the consequences of hatred. Anne gives a personal face to the 6 million lives lost, and her fortitude serves as a call to action for readers to stand up against injustice today. Anne often described her dual personality, the exuberant, flippant outer Anne and the deeper, serious inner Anne. It's a paradox we all share, the masks we wear in social situations versus the complex internal worlds we actually inhabit. Finally, we look at the ethics of those outside. While helpers like Miep Gies risked everything, Anne also explored the concept of complicity, the idea that staying silent in the face of systemic evil is, in itself, a choice. The annex acted as a, quote, pressure cooker, forcing Anne to grow up much faster than her peers. It is a poignant reality. Extreme hardship can lead to incredible intellectual growth, but it often comes at the high cost of childhood innocence. Anne Frank's diary is more than a history lesson. It's a masterclass in the human spirit. Which of these vocabulary words resonated most with you? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more literature guides. Finally, let's look at the timeline. From Hitler's rise in 1933 to the liberation of the camps in 1945, Anne's life was inextricably linked to the global conflict. Her 761 days in the Annex represent a manifest struggle for survival against the backdrop of the final solution and the Allied push for freedom. Anne Frank once wrote, "I want to be useful or bring enjoyment to all people, even those I've never met. I want to go on living even after my death." Through her words, and through your commitment to understanding them, she does. Thanks for joining Beyond the Books. We have a part 2 of Diary of Anne Frank, about the aftermath of the raid. We really think it's a great deep dive into the world of Anne Frank. As always, please like and subscribe.